Women are at the center of Igbo sociality, meaning how the Igbo interact as human beings. Before contact with Europeans, long ago, the Igbo ran a social system that was purely matriarchal, meaning the power turns around women.
Now it's time to like, share, subscribe, and give us your thoughts on the powerful place women have in the Igbo society. Today, I want us to talk about women. Women in Igbo society. How does Igbo society look at women? What is womanhood for Igbo people?
Women are at the center of Igbo sociality, meaning how the Igbo interact as human beings. It didn't start now. Indeed, if anything, is being vitiated by the encounter, by the contact with the foreign imperial powers. One Igbo and female anthropologist, Professor Ife Amadume, she did a book in 1980s, which she called The Foundation of African Matriarchy. And it was published in London, I think by Zed Book. The position of Ife Amadume is that before contact with Europeans, the Igbo ran a social system that was purely matriarchal, meaning everything the power turns around women. And she had evidence of what in anthropology we call survivals. She used, for instance, a part of Anambra, where you have the Demili, and it happens is the most powerful deity around there. And Idemili is female.
Female goddess.
Yes. Now, if you broaden that, you could point to some survivals, if you like, in other parts of Igboland, in the shape of how kinship is run. For instance, Igbo living along Cross River Basin. It is either matrilineal system, meaning systems where you reckon membership of that society along your mother's line, never your father's line. And indeed, recently, a man called John McCall from the US spent some time doing ethnography among one of probably the best known in terms of this system of kinship system, namely the Ohafia.
Ohafia, okay.
Yes. And he devoted a full chapter reporting on one female personage whom for all practical purposes is regarded as a man. The name of the person is Neuko.
Neuko.
Yes. Okay. And now Neuko not only marries a woman, but is indeed polygynous, meaning She married more than one. And all the secret society that wields power in that particular community, which ordinarily you didn't admit women. Neuko is a member of all of them, the Ekpe and such things. So, but the important thing, they are survivors, vestiges that still anybody could go and observe. Ohafia, Abam, Mkporo, Eda, Aruchuku, all of them, matrilineal. And then you have the Afikpo that manages to combine both. That is both patrilineal, where you reckon through the father's side, and the matrilineal, which I have explained, you record through the mother's side.
You've heard that women are not just part of Igbo society. They are at the center of Igbo society, not just biologically, but as godheads and powerful deities. Now, listen in the next segment as Professor Eze reveals how a man in Igbo society can actually become a woman and a woman become a man. Now, I would like you to say, and explain to us in a few definite words.
Yes.
Who is a woman in Igboland?
Well, a woman in Igboland must be a biological female, ordinarily. That is someone who is not a man, potentially capable of getting pregnant and being delivered of a baby. That's ordinarily, biologically. The Igbo recognize that. But the Igbo goes a step further. And again, we go back to Ifi Amadiume. She also wrote another book, which she calls Female Husband and the Male Wife. What that means is that one's accomplishment and the status within society may also confer the status of woman on that person. Just as accomplishment and status can confer on woman the status of a man. We've cited the case of Neuko. I add this. In some Igbo cross-river societies, when I talk about cross-river, it's not the state. It is the big river that flows into Atlantic Ocean. Now, there's a situation, condition, a man finds himself. You know he's a man, but you still call him a woman. They would like to say Ebonwanyi. But he has a story of his own.
Yes. That's what I want to get.
Yes, yes.
So in Igboland,
yes,
there's a biological woman.
That's right.
And there's a socio-cultural woman.
Yeah, social woman.
Social woman.
Yes.
Okay, can you explain that? Just give it to me the way it is.
Yes.
Who is a social woman?
A social woman is a man who has not been accepted by custom as fully fledged man.
Okay.
It's a social woman.
Okay.
A social woman also is a woman who has the attribute of womanhood as defined by the culture. If a male have not grown to a point where he is initiated into manhood in the sense of being recognized as having all the attributes of man, you must enter certain secret societies. If you had not accomplished that as culturally sanctioned, then that person is still a woman, meaning that person cannot participate in matters that are designed for fully fledged men.
Key takeaways from this interview. 1. Women were central to Igbo civilization. In traditional Igbo society, women were not secondary, they were foundational. Power, influence, and social order often revolved around women, both spiritually and politically. 2. Gender in Igbo culture was not purely biological. Beyond biological definition, Igbo society recognized a social gender, meaning status, achievement, and initiation could redefine gender roles within the cultural system, but warned that Western religion and colonial system would destroy this balance, a change still visible today. Now it's time to go to the comment section. Like, share, subscribe, and give us your thoughts on the powerful place women have in the Igbo society. See you in the next episode.